Let's talk about AEW, man. Let's get into it, man. Last week, at Summer Blockbuster, opened up with one of the best matches in Dynamite history, between Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. Man, I thought this one was really put together well, and some of the arm stuff like really popped me towards the end of the match, like how they built it up. And then when Osprey was, basically a one arm man still doing the hidden blade out of nowhere in the counters. I'm a sucker for the counters and all that. And I think the combo of the match and the angle after it. This is like one of my favorite segments in the history of this show.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. I it's not at the level of the first match, but I mean that wasn't the point. Like I thought they had an awesome, incredible match, and I really liked the part where the match is so much different from the first match. There's it, and it turns into Osprey just being down with his bad arm, and and he's making the best of trying to survive with Swerve, and Swerve is broke down when he has a bad knee. And yeah, I really enjoyed the match. As you mentioned, the counters, a lot of that stuff was really high level, sophisticated, and like I thought we were doing the 5 more minutes thing, like similar to Adam Cole and MJF from 2023. Not angle where like MJF was going to like lose a lot, but like overtime crowd is like it's a dusty finish type thing. Like you're gonna restart the match, but as soon as uh Death Riders came out, I was like, oh, okay. And then the eating of the bullet by Osprey then from the Young Bucks double super kick, I thought that was really well done. And I think what they've done the last 2 weeks with Osprey and Page and Swerve as far as like this road towards um they're going to end up all fighting on the side of AEW eventually. Like they're getting dragged into it. They're going to put that stuff aside eventually. And I think it's a great story they've told. I think this is all after everything that Swerve and Page have done to each other. Like it has to be a long road to get to it. It can't just be like as simple as it was with Osprey and Omega, where it's like, well, we both hate Don Callis. It's got to be like, no, we got to be dragged almost kicking and screaming and just back against the wall, end of the line, last desperation. It's either this or death. We gotta make this work. So I think it's first and foremost the angle with Osprey to get to with the Swerve thing, take by number one. I thought it was well done, great. Part where they never showed his face, I thought it was well even better. And then like the part where the backstage stuff where they teased that we screwed. I thought it was well done. They teased even back after the Young Bucks screwed Swerve at Revolution. That is like, was it Revolution?
It was
Dynasty,
Dynasty.
Dynasty, at Dynasty. That like, yeah, we did this for Page, and then Swerve, a couple weeks ago was like, I didn't forget this, and then they come back to it, and ultimately in the locker room or in front of the medical room, Swerve and Nana are overhearing the conversation. Like, no, we never agreed to this. Like, actually, I was telling the truth, or Paige actually was telling the truth, and Paige didn't realize that he was, you know,
Yeah, being heard.
divulging that to Swerve and Nana overhearing. I thought it was all well done. So it's like you see the breadcrumbs where they're heading. I think they're doing it very, very well.
I find it really satisfying too. Like, yeah,
Yes,
did the shit like suck when Swerve didn't win the belt? Yes, it
but
did.
at least they have an explanation. They've had
But
an explanation the whole time
I
of
think they
where they
have
were
more
headed.
than
Where
an
like Swerve's not really
explanation.
champion, but there's a reason why he's not champion. Yes.
Yeah, they have more than an explanation. They have like two matches built out of it, like between the Moxley and Page match, and then you
Yeah.
know from there you're looking at Swerve and Will Ospreay. With Swerve loses to Hangman, that same or Double or Nothing, and then
Yeah.
back to back pay per views. Like the guy that loses the pay per view match is basically roped into the Young Bucks thing, and the Young Bucks
Mhm.
match at these things is a huge spot. It's almost like an Undertaker spot. Like they can be champions, they can not be champions, but they are always going to get time. They're always going to have a chance to have a great match. And then it's like, why wouldn't you? And all you got to do is come up with the reason why. And I think they've like delivered with like all that stuff.
Yeah, okay. So you mentioned that like it's the Undertaker spot, open spot for WrestleMania. Can we call Kenny Omega spot the Undertaker spot and call the Young Buck spot the Triple H spot? It because it's basically the same thing. It was like these two people were going to be on this show, and regardless of whatever the fuck is going on, and they're going to be in a marquee position, and that will be it. It's the end of the, it don't matter if they in the title situation or not, but like these two will have important marquee storylines for like 15, 20 years at this biggest show. Can we say that? Because I don't want to call I don't want to, because you said, Undertaker spot for Young Bucks. Like, I don't want to say that, dude. In my mind, I'm like, does that mean that Omega is a Triple H spot? No, reverse it. I can't. Mentally, I just can't. It doesn't. I know functionally it doesn't matter, but mentally for me, it's gonna bug me. Please, can we just switch it? Please, Rich. Please.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
but I really like this match. It was like, as I was watching, I was talking with Dan Koff and Jeremy at the time. It was like live in real time. It was like, yo, this is special what they're doing in there, and like it just felt like even the match they had last year. Like I think, just performance wise, they went crazy in that one. But this one, it felt like they had a couple objectives. They had to, show they were equals. They had to get over the fact that they were friends going into this thing. I thought the crowd in Portland was excellent all night for this show, and they pretty much owned that show, and they felt like some of the biggest stars, like at a peak important time of their careers. So shout out to Swerve and Will Ospreay for that match. And I have an affinity for draws done well. I think this beat the shit out of that MJF and Cole one they did a couple years ago that you mentioned a couple minutes ago, that people were just going crazy and acting
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
was God's
Okay,
gift to wrestling. I thought this beat the shit out of that.
this one was way better, was markedly better. However, I still think that match was awesome. Like, I still take that match over that 4.5 shit they did at All In, very divisive or whatever else. The work itself is 4.5, but just the finishes. But I like the draw a lot more.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we talking about, like, we basically are separating, like, or what we're saying is like we're shitting on like a 4.5, or we're saying that like Ospreay and Swerve basically wiped their ass with like a easy 4.5 plus star draw that MJF and Adam Cole did. Like that's very impressive. That's hard to do. You ain't expect that's not easy to do. 4.5 star matches don't just fall out the sky all that often. I understand that we're at a special level of pro wrestling this era, but still, 4.5 star, you'd be happy with whatever you get.
Yeah. As you mentioned, the angle at the end, I had just one thought. I was like, if this was Hangman Page taking the kick for Swerve, I think it may have even gone off even harder. And
I don't think they do that.
no, I'm saying like, because I was like, all right, well, what if Ospreay just won the match? It feels like they were swapped.
No. What I'm saying, if they swapped, I don't think they pulled that card, because I don't think at this point in this stage of it, it's believable yet. If it was Page there,
Mm-hmm.
Page might have all of a sudden reached underneath the fucking apron, and all of a sudden he had a spiked cowboy boots and this for a triple super kick. Like, we ain't there. So I get what you're saying. Like, maybe they do that if it was them, if this was swapped out as you mentioned, but like further down the line, not like 2 weeks post, post Double or Nothing, or 3 weeks post Double or Nothing. No, 2 weeks post Double or Nothing. I don't think so.
So
But I mean, for the crowds, for the fan service, oh, they would have lost it. They
yeah,
would have lost it.
yeah, it would have been. I think even like, and I think the Will thing is like, really,
It's better.
we're getting Swerve and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. Like, all right, man. Like,
Essentially, yeah. I mean, that's what it looks like we're headed
write
towards.
it down, man. Like,
Yeah,
write it
like
down.
that's what we're
Write
headed
the
towards.
stars down, man.
Yeah.
But after that, we had
So my
okay.
oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to transition to something else, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Because it's
Uh,
gonna come up eventually anyway. So go ahead.
so